What's up, boys? So basically backtesting A plus setups. This is what we're looking at. I guess because it's backtesting, we cannot ignore the clear higher time frame bias one. But other than that, I'm looking for the M15, this pattern, which I see happening all the time. We have diagonal, some kind. First one I looked at was this diagonal, break down below, sweep the high of diagonal. This is where we look for a lower time frame entry, and then we fall. Diagonal, sweep the high, like induce bullishly. People go long. And then put their stops below there. And this down here is where we look for lower time frame entry. You can also look at the M15 order block for basically the candle going sweeping the last piece of liquidity as the order block, which could be a secondary entry. Um, I think it can be used a lot to determine the bias as well. Like if the breakout is first bullish, we go down a sweep here, and we then reverse. Okay, so sign we are drawing towards a higher because we wanted to engineer liquidity for a long entry for the banks, if that makes sense. Let's continue. Mm-hmm. This one is a bit more tricky, I'd say. I'm going to look at it from an hourly point of view, which I think would be something like this. Here, we did not get the setup. Well, I would have wanted to see rake below, um, move up there and then down, I guess. But this was towards the close as well. Mm, how do we? Yeah, whatever. We only look at it if we get that entry. Obviously, it's not going to be 100%. Right here, we get this 15-minute pattern. So break above. I think this is a clean liquidity setup, right? People have their stops below there. Do we sweep that low? No. And then we get this double bottom. People put their stops below there again. Sweep the low, look for a lower time frame entry. And we use that order flow to determine bias. So that one is clean. How long do we hold it then? Do we extend the manipulation in the desired direction, I think? That should be the bank block, I'd say. There was 4.5 even. A big one. Yeah, I guess we enter standard deviation of the M15 bank block. That's our target, or whatever time frame it is. Let's continue. So we get this weird looking thing here, I guess. So here we wouldn't enter here because we don't get a pattern. we do get this later. Break above, draw below, look for entry below there. Lower time frame sign of reversal. So it's there. It's there, all right. Did this one extend? Certainly did not. Where did it go then? It's clearly this one that that's the OR block being referred to. Did it go to this one? We enter. I should clarify. Target. Stop loss below order block. Target. 1. Above pattern liquidity. I think is a strong one. 2. TP1. I think 2. Or this I'd say in general is number 1. It could be shaky though. If we are in profit that much, we'd probably want to take a exit there. And then, I mean, obviously, the natural instinct is first external liquidity. I don't like that. I think 2 would be for me the standard deviation. I guess the rule of this breaks if, like, basically the standard deviation rule, that move has to be in alignment with our higher time frame bias for us to anticipate the standard deviation. Then at the same time, no, that was not the case there. Could study this. Target TP1. The liquidity above the pattern. TP2. Standard deviation of the bank block manipulation. I could do like TP1 just being the external liquidity. Just backtesting it feels stupid because when you're on side with this strategy, you're bloody on side, right? And a big majority of the time is going to run in the direction that you anticipate it will run in, right? I like to play football. Basically here, that's another way to look at it. Let's see if we got that as our standard deviation. Looks like, let's try this one. So it was. Yeah, I definitely think that should be initial draw. Then it's like target price 3. We have one of those. No, I think that goes for the swing trade overall. Like even for this one, which was 4.5, you still get the move up there, right? Crash, 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 and then all of a sudden in that it decides to continue bearishly. So I think that's a good target price. Let's continue. I wouldn't count this one as a valid one. I don't think this is a valid one because we don't get the break below. Now, I want to say, is there anything else all these setups have in common? I mean, they all sweep the liquidity of the pattern. Mm, mm, mm. Let's listen to speed. Fucking hell, wait. All right, let's continue. So we missed this one. There, very sad. Can't get them all. Like and also probably if we have had the big move already, it's probably not the trade you want to take. I think, like down here, if we have. Do we want to take an entry then? I'll backtest that one later. Right. Boom. Did we sweep? No, it didn't. Uh, you're not always gonna get it, I guess. Let's see. Split screen. Yes. What day is this? 17th December. Right? No, December, right? Indeed, interesting. So I had a major reversal. Like a major reversal, we do indeed get the SMT divergence. So I think I think that is interesting. Look for when anticipating major reversal. And the SMT diversion is basically when the ES gets a low and the Nasdaq doesn't, or reverse, when the Nasdaq gets a low and the ES doesn't. Um, Now the question is, how strict are we gonna be? What counts? So I'm pretty confident in the strategy. But do we take simply the tap below the trend line? On the 5 minute, do we take out here? Let me see. I always think it's more like The break is stronger if we also take out a low. Do we count this? Banks does. Trendline sweep is enough, but I would not call it A plus then. Let's look into this. And they can jog in. Let's continue. I remember this. It's rather confused here, to be honest. Because what is this? I did draw this. Here is an order lock though. Basically, all this constellation banks buying, and it was indeed a order lock. Like, look at where we did reverse later. I walked away from that thought, but this is the standard deviation there. Typically, quite strong sign of if it's gonna be a strong order block. Inside of this one, what do we get? Yeah, this was the tricky one where I just didn't get the bias. Like for a lower time frame trade, it would have been clean, catching the manipulation move. But yeah, sadly, I did thought we were gonna reverse here, which would have been cleaner. I gotta get rid of speeder. Oh yeah, beautiful song. Basically, we don't get the manipulation move. So it clearly does have its misses as well. I'll write this miss. Can also be seen in major reversal setup. I'll write that down like that. All right, let's get back. This one is pretty clean. Like these, I just love these setups here. And it's bouncing from more. Like, I mean, this is just so beautiful here. I think this is what I'm looking for. A break above. I wasn't so beautiful. I thought we broke that high. 2531.275. 31275. Yeah, same high. I guess still does the trick though. Getting the manipulation. Clearly trendline break. Boom, starts below there. Look for lower time frame entry. I'll put this one in. This one is tricky. Interesting. This one I probably would have missed. Probably another miss. Because what it makes us believe here is get a breakout above. Okay, people have stops there. How to come down sweep. Don't. Instead we get a breakdown below. And we then sweep high. This I guess could mean if we get the break above, which we hate to be break, and we do not get our liquidities in the immediate reversal, then the new break can be the true. If that makes sense. So basically, if we have this setup, boom, okay, we get this, people go short. There we get a break below. Then we actually reverse. Then the second break can be the one considered a manipulation move. This song. A man is made out of blood. I mean, you cannot say though my standard deviations aren't accurate. Apparently they're not. Fucking fraud, Adam. Well, why this one instead of this one? Good question. It's a funny story with this song. I was on a road trip with some friends. We picked up some hitchhikers, and I asked him, "Play any song you want," and he put on this one. Which listen to it if you haven't. It's a very random song to put on. All right, why this one? So this one is clearly it's a clean bank block. Indeed. Good question though. Good question. Good question. I guess the question comes down. I think this one does never sweep the high of that one, so the break isn't as strong. And sometimes it's just you gotta understand which order block the bank's referring to. With us here in this one, not going down, or do we? Yeah, he uses this entire move. It's a secondary block, right? High is 32175. Low of this one is 32125. Yeah, so it doesn't need touch. Yeah, it's about which bank block is the bank's referring to. Now, that's a good question. How do we know this? This is something I gotta refine, I think. I guess the answer is where do we fill up our positions? Like break above, fill, 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 fill. Um, I'd say that is probably my answer to this question, but that is something I have to master even more. Mhm. Let's see if we get another one here. So you either draw it like this. There, I'd say is probably the way to draw it. And we don't get it there. In these instances, it's probably a 5-minute low. It takes out. I'd say the weakness of the strat so far is that the lick sweep below the whole pattern does not always come. Sometimes the lick is inside the pattern. Look at M5. Post the when this happens, what tends and we get a move back up, we thought would be the bank block. The manipulation move that came tends to hold. So probably, I mean, this is a 5-minute low. On the 5-minute, when we go above there, a lot of stops are there, and so it sweeps, and then this new one becomes the order block. And what should we do instead then is, okay, we refer to this as the bank block, and then we look for another setup inside of that move, I think. So on the 5-minute, this break would be clear as well. What is qualified as a break of the trend line? Minor one on M5 work? Good question. Let's backtest it. Learning a lot today, I feel. Well, I remember this setup here. I took this one. This is my best trade of December. Basically, break above trend line. You see this wick there as well. That's a double bottom. So, and then we sweep this, we get an M1 or block from there. And I held it until this entire move. But now I wanna study this, to be honest. Is it this one? It is indeed. I think I measured this one wrong before. I measured this one as this, but that doesn't make any sense, to be honest. That's the second time in a row when we get a bank block, and closely after we get the pattern inducement setup. The standard deviation seems to come from the original bank block. How do we qualify this? Now, remember, I mean, this is obviously slightly easier than future testing, but we're gonna do a lot of live trading in the upcoming time as well. Align this week, back that sorry. Like, boom, bull flag, move up, stops below, look for a lower time frame, entry, baby. Wasn't that clean this time though, that's for sure. I think the reversal always, almost on a A+1, it goes fast, right? That's like a common theme, I think, of a good one. The reversal, we sweep and then we move. Sweep, move. Probably here as well. Right, detail pattern, inducement, sweep, move. So that's for an A+ setup, the reversal should be fast. I think that's very valid. For an A+ setup, the reversal should be fast. If not, chances are you are offside and it is best to exit calling. All right. Now, what is this? 22nd December. Ah, that's not fair, is it? Let's do this. This is on the 4-hour. I'm pretty confident. Same thing. Break above. Liquidity below. Fast reversal. Even though we get that, but rules still apply. Standard deviation is not there. Rather it was from here. But that's ugly, not gonna lie. Was it this? No. You loaded 16 tons. What do you get? Not a day over in a big pond. Where was this reversal anyway? It was in this order block there. Untapped. Alright. Let's continue. Back that, sorry, loaded 16 tons. This is what seems to happen when the reversal is fast. Just get a bunch of consolidation. Here, I would prefer saying this, because if we draw on that one, I mean, it's an additional one, but if you look, there's no pattern, then it would be this. And I don't think that one's too clean. I like the diagonal the most. Some kind of diagonal. All right, what do we get? We get a bearish. Bearish breakout, stops about there. So this would have been a miss. What's irregular about this? So we don't get a fast reversal, I think is one. And then we would be like, when we start seeing this, we're like, you know what? Nope. Because like it's still not a bad. Still wouldn't lose money here with the setup. So why do you do that? It's just 9:30. Well, we didn't get anything there, I guess. What we do get is like on a higher time frame, inducement there. But yeah, not too clean, not too clean. I think you would just have to look at it there. See this as the bank block. Look for post validation. Look for let's see what happened there. What day is it? 10:30 Wednesday, 24th December. This is Swedish Christmas. We actually celebrate 24th, so I was not looking. Mm. Dun dun dun. Ugly price action. Not gonna lie. All right, I would probably miss this one. I guess I would have been locked in for the PM session then. Lillebror. Yeah, we closed there. Christmas gestation. 26th, be back. When is 26th? Here. It's a flag. Break below. We didn't get it. We're offside. Miss. No fast reversal. We offside. First sweep also tends. That's a sign you are mating dance. Right below. Right below. Stops about there. No, we didn't get this sweeper. And what did I say before? If we don't get a sweep, we get internal sweep. Then we look for entry off of the next of that move, right? That's what we said. We gotta move. What did I say? Windows reservoir is at. Yeah, sounds looking. When this happens, we gotta move back above what we thought would be bank block, like here. Like this one there, back inside. Right? Am I stupid now? Whatever. Vi har förlorat. Nice. Break below. We will go short. Get the sweep. This one wasn't that fast though. I would have been sketched out there, probably. I would have definitely been sketched out there. Maybe instead of. It's tricky. Still a decent. I mean, basically, if you get this and you get this and you get this, I think these are exceptionally strong. This is something I've noticed. That I want to break down. You get this for value gap here. It acts as support. You get a new external sweep, sweeping this one, and then we inverse in reverse. That tends to be strong, like strong whiskey, strong shit. Um, very interesting. We get them back inside to the order block there, but that would probably have been the move. Like if we get sketched out there when it's slow, that's where we look. Oh, hold up. I'm gonna grab some water. Yeah, I'm gonna end stream, grab some food. Um, Thanks for stopping by. This was very, very good for me, very insightful for me. Hope you got something out of it.